Cavalier, who wants to chime in.
Absolutely.
We a long time coming on, getting him here in the South Louisiana.
Yes.
Welcome to the OpenLine State Trooper.
State Trooper.
Former State Trooper.
Former State Trooper.
Yes, yes. I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, just calling in to give a little update on my situation.
Yes.
I think everyone, pretty much caught wind of either a little bit what's going on or know, fully what's going on with the governor, John Bell Edwards, being implemented in the cover-up of the death of the murder of Ronald Green, the black motorist Ronald Green in 2019. This thing getting to this point in the case, the investigation is very important to me because I've been saying for a long time now, for a couple of years now, that, hey, the governor had, knowledge of this thing and was still not moving his feet on this case and this investigation. So, recently WBRZ released some text messages between the governor, the governor's office, his staff, the U.S. attorney, state police. And within those text messages, you can see how inappropriate and unprofessional, in an unprofessional manner, this investigation is still being handled and how it's been handled from the start. And you can see how the family of Ronald Green has been caught up in a whirlwind of political games. So it began in 2019 when the governor was on his campaign run, and at the end of his campaign run, when he needed the black vote so badly, and these are the things I was saying, 2 years ago. But now that it comes to light, everyone can see that, this family's been caught in a political whirlwind. So, Governor Edwards decided to be dishonest and not be forthcoming with the truth of what he knew and how long he known it. And, the fact that he haven't been taking any effective actions towards state police and the fact that they're covering up a murder and the fact that their troopers committed a murder. And another thing I would like to point out, I guess, as a black man, a black former officer, a former trooper, I think the hardcore truth is the best, for us to deal with it and move forward. So I would want to say that I'm disappointed in Louisiana Black Caucus. From the start, I've been hollering, where are you? What are you doing? What are you saying? For the longest, all I see is those guys, playing on a golf course with John Bell Edwards, and the next day holding a press conference saying that, hey, we need justice about this, but they never mentioned John Bell Edwards' name not one time. And in these text messages been released recently, you can see former chair of the Black Caucus, Ted James, text someone in the governor's office and say, hey, I can't continue to pretend like I don't see what's going on because my people from my community is giving me pressure. So, he's saying that his political career is not over. He wants to go to other places, but now you see that he's been moved to a better position on a federal level. And I think that's just completely inappropriate for a black man, a politician, and, just someone who has the responsibility of upholding the law and keeping Louisiana State Police responsible for what they're doing wrong and what they're doing right. And also, one of your guys' very own, Mr. Vincent Pierre from Lafayette, maybe some of you guys don't want to hear it, maybe, but I know you need to hear it.
Yes,
he jumped out in front of John Bell Edwards, like it was his own kid or his own blood relative, trying to save him from, a car wreck or something like that, but you haven't heard from Vincent Pierre or anybody else prior to these text messages coming out about John Bell Edwards. He didn't come out and demand justice for Ronald Green's family, in a meaningful way. Didn't do any of that.
Brother Cavalier, I absolutely agree with you, and we keep it honest on this radio show because we did have the head of the Black Caucus, Mr. Pierre, on a while back. And again, this is what this show is about, and that's why we appreciate your honesty, and that's why we want to get you on, because, they can do more. More thing has to be done. Black voters in the state of Louisiana, that's why we in that situation with the redistricting, why we can't get things done, because we cut deals and we don't be public, and that turns into voter apathy, where people get angry and don't want to vote for these people because they say they're not carrying on the wishes of the people who put them in office. So I agree with you, brother.
Yes, and I will piggyback off of that and supplement that and say to the listeners, to the ones that's listening and voting for these people, ask yourself why. Why are you continuously voting for these people? My understanding is, I haven't done extensive research on it, but my understanding is Mr. Vincent has been around for a while now as a representative out of Lafayette, and I think it's time for a change. I think it's time for a change because we're playing political games with a black man's life. And not only we playing political games with a black man's life, we're showing our counterparts or our cohorts that it's okay. It's okay because this is what we will settle for. We will settle for this as a community, and we will settle for this as long as we got some type of black puppet in a way and misleading us. A Judas goat, if you will. But I don't think it's really productive for you guys to continuously vote for these people, and that year after year, time after time, that they're proving themselves when it comes to important cases like this, that they won't do anything. They won't do anything at all. I sit back and I see from the inside out and also the outside in because I'm black, but also I'm a trooper. A former trooper, so I know what's on the inside, I know what's on the out, and my view is that we're not seeing the finished product. Let's take George Floyd for example. Derek Chauvin went to jail, but that's nothing. Yeah, he went to jail. He deserved to go to jail, but there's nothing for keeping another officer for putting their knee on another black man's neck. There's no real consequences for that. There's no real barriers to that. There's no follow through. They tried to pass the George Floyd Act, but that fell through. If they really cared about Derek Chauvin going to jail and people like Derek Chauvin going to jail, they would have had to follow through, the follow up. If the Black Caucus here in Louisiana really cared about Ronald Green, it wouldn't take 3 years. 3 years. I've never seen a murder case, a lynching on camera happen on camera and take 3 years to figure out what's going on. Text messages, video, audio. I'm the guy that's on the outside. I'm fired. I'm terminated. Right? I had nothing to do with murdering Ronald Green or anything like that. I just spoke out about it because I seen the cover up. But I'm the one that's fired. I'm the one that's terminated. I'm the one that's disciplined in relation to that. But you have a Lieutenant, John Clary, from the Troop F Monroe area, who lied to an investigator about having body camera footage of Ronald Green. But check this out. Through a two-year span period, it shows in the computer system that he goes back and checked this video periodically to make sure nobody was checking it, to make sure nobody knew it was there. State police knows this. The black colonel, Lamar Davis, knows this, but he's a puppet for John Bell Edwards. I've been saying that for 2 years now. Lieutenant Colonel Chavez Cameron, who is also black, Lieutenant Colonel Kenny Van Buren, these guys are sitting in place and have inside knowledge of all this dirt that's been going on all this time, but we standing by them because of the color of their skin, and all skin folk and kinfolk. We know that.
So chaotic, but it's the truth. This is Louisiana policies at its finest. Now, let me ask you this: since you were fired, were you fired with any type of compensation, or you just playing right? They just can't fired you?
No, they fired me. I mean, it's no type of compensation. They just terminated me. Be it I don't want nobody getting hung up on the fact that
and the reason?
The reason is conduct unbecoming of an officer, and this is funny. I mean, feel free to laugh. Conduct unbecoming an officer. Loyalty to the department. They want me to be loyal to them and shut my mouth. Seeking publicity. I'm seeking publicity because I'm saying that these guys have murdered someone. All the things that's coming out in the news right now, the text messages, all the proof. I've been saying all these things, and these are the things that state police fired me for. They wanted it to not come out, but it's out now, and I'm going to continue to push it. When I get off of here, I'm going to go later on and do another interview with Tavis Smiley. I'm going to continue to do my end and push it, but I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular trooper who, making money for his family, but I had to sacrifice my living, sacrifice, my kids' money and food to do what these elected officials, the people we voting for, were supposed to do in the first place.
Well, yes, and one thing with the caller, y'all got no more than 1 minute to make your point and get off. No more than 1 minute to make your point and get off. No, but however, I wanted to find out What is it that the community can do since you put your livelihood on the chopping block? What is it that the community can do to continue to get this story out? Trying to get in touch with CNN and all of them. What can we do?
Well, I would say first of all, don't get it twisted or have a misconception of my position. Don't feel sorry for me because I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I don't need no pity or anything like that. I'm a man. I'm gonna handle my business and I'm gonna continue supplying for my family. On the other end of that, I do have legal fees. I have a GoFundMe set up. It's Carl Cavalier's Legal Defense Fund on GoFundMe, the GoFundMe website, Carl Cavalier's Legal Defense Fund. So I mean, if anyone want to donate to that, I have an attorney to pay. I have a great attorney, but it's not free. It's very expensive. But don't feel sorry for me. I'm blessed.
I wasn't feeling sorry for you. I just know that you took the ultimate. You paid the ultimate price. But no, not feeling sorry at all. We just wanted to make sure that support him, and that these I'm on the radio, and that these other human beings do what they are supposed to do.
Correct. And I appreciate that. And I would say the second thing is...
what about your book?
My book is nwbbook.com, nwbbook.com. You can check it out on the website. Feel free to purchase it if you want. I'm reluctant to even, come on and speak about my book because my book was just therapy for me. My book was just me getting my thoughts out and putting them on paper and, just sharing my thoughts in my head on paper. So I don't go on interviews to try to promote my book or anything like that. But people constantly promote it. Yeah. I think the book will sell and do what it needs to do on its own. This is about Ronald Green and this is about state police having years and years of just a dirty, racist undertone to it, and I think it needs to be dealt with. So the website for the book is nwbbook.com. So feel free to go and check that out.
Okay, caller.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Kevin.
Hey, Mr. Carl Cavalier, I want to commend you, man, because you're doing a great job. But right now they're talking about your case on Louisiana talk show on Baton Rouge. This guy, Roger Milton, is supposed to say attorney general, supposed to say trying to get the case reinstated. But I mentioned, why was you fired and the other white guys was promoted? But keep doing what you're doing because we support you. And I talk about it every time because you was the hero.
Yeah.
That told on these people, even though you didn't get the video, it was given to you by the white guys. But yet still, John Bell Edwards, he go ahead and promotes this man and tell him to take a retirement, so no questions being answered. But John Bell Edwards is responsible for this as much as everybody don't think. So we got to stay on these people because they've been doing this to us.
Yeah. Mr. Kevin,
reward the villains.
Turn your radio down.
Criminalize the victims.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Kevin, turn your radio down.
Next time you call.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kevin.
I appreciate that. He's exactly right. We just got to keep. We can't change our tune when something else come along. We can't settle for less. We keep settling for less. We're gonna keep getting the same results that we're getting right now. So he's exactly right, and I appreciate him for that.
nwd.book.com.
nwbbook.com. nwbbook.com.
Oh, okay. Yes, and definitely we need to hear your story. It needs to be worldwide, and it's going to get to be worldwide.
I want to add, Sister Khadijah, it's amazing that they went so much and so far to dig up information on Attorney Ron Haley after these cases he brought before the media and the public, and they suspended him, I guess, temporarily or whatever. It's amazing how they put so much effort into doing that on a attorney who highlighted injustice here in the state of Louisiana and around the country. And I don't know how you feel about that, Mr. Cavalier, that they go all out to check Brother Attorney Haley on those minor issues and not even delve into what went on with you and the Louisiana State Police.
Yes, you're exactly right. You're hitting the nail on the head. what's done to Mr. Haley is similar to what's done to me. If you don't want to shut your mouth, we're gonna make an example out of you. It goes back to, I know we don't want to hear it. It goes back to slavery. You run away from this plantation, we're gonna make an example out of you. We're gonna hang you in that tree and leave you hanging for everybody else to see you to know that they're not supposed to do that.
That's right.
They
I
don't
got a
need to do
question.
that.
So basically, this is Queen and Zinga. So my question is, why are we still in the system? Because apparently, so many years, we still want to be a part of a system that's not actually for us. From in politics and so forth, we get someone like you said earlier that look like us, but that they're not actually for us. Do you believe if we just back out the whole system, create our own, that's the only way we could counteract everything that's going on right now? Because apparently, as long as we're in the system, it's going to keep going. Like Attorney Ryan Haley, the reason why he can't really speak up because it's threatening their system, centuries-old system. So at this point, I believe the only way to fix this problem is to step out and create our own.
I would think, and I appreciate the mind frame, and I appreciate that because you're still in a fighter's mind frame. But the reason why we have to be a part of this system is because we're governed by this system. We living in this country that is governed by this system. If we're not in this system, then we're gonna get worse than what we're getting now. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse than what we're getting now. They don't have to hear our voice. They don't have to listen to what we're saying. They don't have to adhere to nothing that we've got going on. You can protest and be mad all you want, but they're not going to hear you're not a part of the system. If you're not behind the scenes to know what's going on, hey, no cover up gonna ever be exposed. No wrongdoing gonna ever be exposed. No redlining when you go, apply for a loan for a house. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. So you need that black bank manager. You need that black trooper, that black colonel, or the black officer. I'm talking about real black though. I'm not talking about the black we're dealing with now. I'm talking about real blacks that's going to really make a difference. But to supplement that and to back that up, it's not going to work if we got a true black colonel and some good black troopers. It's not going to work if the public don't back them up. When I'm terminated, or people like me are terminated, or people like Ron Haley, his career is threatened because he's doing the right thing. The public need to get up and get mobile ASAP and don't stop being mobile until they leave him alone, until leave me alone, until they do what's right.
And when we're talking about they, we need to be specific with exactly who they are. They are the white men that is always been in control, always will be in control. We need to be able to identify who is they. They are the white men that are in charge of everything. And that's our biggest problem right there. Jay, you need to be able to call them out. You need to be able to not only say their name, but you need to show us a picture. Oh, he pointing to the phone caller.
All right, Mr. Kevin, go ahead.
Look, Mr. Cavalier, I forgot one thing. I knew when you was going to be fired when they hired this Afro-Saxon Lamar Davis to cover the case.
Yes.
Because he fired you, but he promoted the white guy that was accessory to the murdering of Ronald Green.
Exactly.
And then was so bad he was superintendent and couldn't even make a decision. That's when I knew you was getting fired. They suspend you, but yet still you was on the hold because they wanted a black to fire a black. And we got to call all these black people out that does that. Like the Black Caucus. To me, they should have been fighting for you instead of fighting for redistricting.
Yes.
Because that was injustice to the highest.
Yes, indeed.
Brother Kevin, that goes along with that old mind frame. You have a lot of the older generation that's still in the survival mind frame. And what that means is that they still believe that in order to get accolades and stars, that they have to hurt their own kind. That's an old mentality that also needs to be addressed.
Yes. Two things to what he said. The first thing, we knew Lamar wasn't the right pick because we knew him before the public knew him as colonel. We knew him before then, so we knew things were going to be properly addressed prior to him being colonel. The first press conference he come out, he say the systematic racism doesn't exist here at state police. I don't see any proof of it. When they were on his back prior to him being colonel, that's one thing. The second thing is he's promoting these guys that's a part of the cover up because he's the puppet of John Bell Edwards. And now John Bell Edwards is exposed and threw Lamar clean under the bus. Threw you clean under the bus to remind you that you're black.
Yes, sir. We don't need too much more reminding with what they done there. And so we want to continue to let you know how much we appreciate you. You have an.
We like to invite him to Lafayette to the TV show.
Oh, look, when can you come to the TV show? We could get you on next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Or
Next
Saturday after next.
Next Saturday. Okay, that should be good. Next Saturday should be good.
Next Saturday. Okay, Jay gonna give you all of the information for
Yes.
that, and and what's so good about us is that we want you to see who we are. We're not hiding behind no judge robe. We're not hiding behind no police badge. We're not hiding behind what's that stuff when they hitting on the gavel? No president in charge of no meeting. We want you to know exactly who we are, because the love that we have inside from our ancestors, from God, we want you to know who we are. We want you to make sure you catch our good side.
Yes.
Yes.
So you said next
and I
Saturday?
appreciate y'all. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jay gonna call you and let you know exactly what time.
Okay,
I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
too.
Okay.
And again, you are our hero among heroes.
Yes,
We
yes.
need to have a nice size picture of you, because you need to be plastered all over, everywhere. The truth set corrupt people free, the no good people free. The truth gonna always remain the truth. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord,
Okay.
you made me forget I had a
Okay.
back problem.
Guys, oh my God, that
I'm ready
brother
to
was
fight.
so powerful. I just have to say, guys, and it's just so phenomenal just to hear someone that been in the system and explain to the community actually what actually goes on in the system. And you know, that's also sadly, it also reminds us that we're still in the fight.
And I'm sorry.
We're still in the fight.
I'm sorry to cut into
You know.
Attorney
Oh,
Dwight.
no.
Ask a lawyer, but you know she's.
Oh no, y'all know I don't mind at all.
She is
Yes.
a trooper too, also a good attorney that
Right.
we need to support those attorneys that try to advocate for justice here. And all at the end of the day, all we want, Sister Queen, right? Justice for us. If we could get it. If we could get it.
Right, but it's going to be kind of hard for us to get justice if we have people with all this power that still believes in keeping their mouth shut and still believes in survival mode. Survival mode is when you hurt your own kind just to get coins and to have status. Right now, that is not something we need anymore. When you get knowledge and you understand what's going on, you have to come back and give a helping hand to our communities that don't know.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's just like one of the best chief of police, Mr. Glover, that we had in the existence of Louisiana. He get let go for doing the right thing, when at the same time you have this other white boy, or whatever y'all want to call him. No, you have him, but Jay is the truth. He goes and he calls his employees the M word, you know, and stuff like that. And one of the employees react back like a man with everything going for him supposed to do. He reacted back, and come to find out they're gonna give him a 30-day suspension without pay. And what's that white boy named Leger? I can't find his name. I'm gonna find his name. He worked for the Lafayette Department, Lafayette City Department, and he called that man. Look at them bunch of monkeys, you know, just completely degraded, and he just get 3 days suspension. When the other brother who addressed him like a man like a man supposed to do, he gets 30 days. Now tell me that's not no two type of system. I'm finished. My blood pressure's.
I mean, all I can say is y'all making some very valid points, and I definitely agree with a lot of it.